Hey, Mike Callahan here. Wanted to make a quick video and just been talking with a lot of industry experts and a lot of people just dominating the lawn care and home cleaning industry lately. And one thing is just absolutely crystal clear to me is the difference between a service business that is ordinary and one that is absolutely disrupting and dominating their local or even national market on a franchise level. And it is the individuals that are willing to put in the work, hold themselves accountable and their team accountable with complete transparency to get things done. But that's not the only thing. In addition, the major differentiator is the ability to go out and not outwork their competition, but to outlearn their competition. And I think this is a key differentiating fact. Been working a lot with Debbie Sardone, one of the absolute dominant forces in the cleaning industry. And a conversation I had with her recently was talking about continuing education for her team, and not at a low price point, a significantly high price point. And very interesting after talking to her and other people like Jonathan Potoshnik of the Lawn Care Millionaire, how these individuals that will dominate in several markets and be the defining force that we all basically follow after to be that person. They're not only teaching their teams from what they've learned in their self-education, which they probably on their right own could probably teach in force or at least guide their own companies, but they're going out and additionally seeking the experts. Where the folks at Service Autopilot are using different digital marketing and tools in classes and different conferences that the owners may have a really good grasp on, but they're going out and providing the education and placement for advancement of their team in addition to the advancement of themselves. So it's really just providing and creating a culture of learning and outlearning your competition. And even if you are the expert in your business, such as Debbie Sardone or Jonathan Potoshnik, they're relying on other industry experts or vertical specific experts to go in and have somebody externally teach their internal team what should be going on and how it should be done. So just a hats off to those individuals, Jonathan and Debbie and many others. But been talking to a lot of the biggest badass winners, such as Corey Bettinghouse, Marvin Sausalito, so Corey Marvin and Jordan Webb as well, and they just have a thirst for knowledge. They're just a little bit different than your average contractor in your local market. They want to go out and learn and be the best, and they're willing to adapt to what needs to be done to go out and dominate and disrupt that market. So if you're wondering what differentiates a average person in your local market versus basically a local dominator or even a national dominator, is the ability to go out and outlearn your competition. And if you are the leader, you understand that knowledge silo needs to be disseminated amongst your crew, your teams that you have. But in addition to that, you're willing to invest in education, in finding the topic expert, and allow your team to learn from them and continue to grow and bring that knowledge back and share it throughout the organization. So it's a 2 to 3 prong approach, but a lot of times we get stuck in our local market, our local groups, and unfortunately, if you do everything like everybody else, you're going to get the results of everybody else. But if you go out and learn life cycle marketing, conversational marketing, in my opinion, that's where the technology shift and where the next shift is going to be. So conversational marketing. So it was life cycle marketing. It still is right now, and that's what we did at Callahan's, and we're teaching at Simple Growth through other nations. But now with some of our packages with automated messenger bots and conversational marketing, that's where the shift is. So very similar to Wayne Gretzky. He wanted to be where the puck is going to be, not where it is. I think that's the next shift, and that's where I'm willing to bet my money on some of these new shifts. But if you buy into that idea and you say, hey, I think that conversational marketing is going to be the next shift in our market, then you're going to go out to things like Digital Marketer or Molly Pittman that used to be with Digital Marketer, and go into products like ManyChat and learn how to be the disruptor. So if you were in my local market for the last 3 years, you could go on my Facebook page and hit our Facebook Messenger and actually get a live quote for lawn mowing, fertilization, and plowing. And now the way we've developed that, we've tied that into Zillow, where you could actually go in, when you type in your address or the postal code, it goes to Zillow and grabs the lot square footage or the home square footage for home cleaning. And when it does that, it calculates a price based on the actual square footage of that property. So going in, out learning your competition and understanding where the technology shift is going to happen will get you in front of your competition and differentiate yourself. So Debbie Sardone, Jonathan Potoshnik, just to name a few, just some movers and shakers on the national level that understand this in this shift. And Jonathan Potoshnik, the co-founder of Service Autopilot, understood this shift probably 7 or 8 years ago in his company CityTurf. And what was really interesting is he realized that shift in SEO and search optimization of creating different landing pages for each service and city he serviced. I believe you had to go to probably the second or third page of Google organically to find his competition. But he understood where the market was going. He went out and got that education and taught himself how to do it, and then learned about marketing and the Dan Kennedy long script type of marketing, and adopted that in his local market. So a couple things we're hitting on here, but the things that we really need to be the market leader is really going out and educating yourself and out learning your competition, having an open mind to where the market should be or is going to go, and take that educated risk at it and invest in the money, not only in yourself to get educated, but your team. Send them to conferences like SA6, send them to digital marketing conferences, whatever that is. Maybe it's GIE or maybe it's GIE, whatever that is. Take a percentage of your budget and invest in education and let that return on investment for your team pay itself forward. So I want to say what's up to Gary, Keith, Jim, Brian, local cat in my market, Matt and Jeremy Guevara. Saw most of you guys live in Dallas last week. For my voice, you can tell I'm still recovering, but advice today, really not an educational video, but just kind of defining what goes into being a market leader, and going out and educating yourself as the business owner, and then sharing that knowledge and sending your team out to get that education, and figuring out where that technology shift is going to be. And my bet right now is conversational marketing. So Google it, check it out. I'm going to make a lot of videos on it. But a great example of is Facebook Messenger and how it can interact and have an AI, some automated AI on there, artificial intelligence around the responses, and be able to segment your database and have automated but personal conversations. And what we've done in the Facebook Messenger world right now is you can go out and get automated pricing based on your specific property that ties into Zillow, and then they can sign up online, pay inside Messenger, and if you're using Service Autopilot, we actually take that information and automatically push that into Service Autopilot, whether they become a client that needs to be scheduled or a lead that needs to be kicked into our 20 days to close process. So not pitching our services, but just some ideas of some of the things we're doing if you want to do that yourself. So comments, questions, drop them below. Want to say what's up to everybody again. One hell of a week last week. Just grinding out from GIE, going in SA6. Great seeing Mike McAlowitz, Ari, Roy, and obviously Jonathan Potoshnik, John Caldwell, Jason Cupp, and all our clients and friends out in Dallas last week. One hell of a trip, and still recovering. So just loving it. And want to say what's up to Doug as well from Pink Collars. So I know the Pink Collars crew is going to be hanging out at ISSA or RC down in Vegas. Unfortunately, not going to be able to make that trip for my cleaning friends. But if you're down there, check out Doug and Michelle. Interesting product as well. So if I was to ever do it all over again, I would definitely be looking at a virtual assistant such as Pink Collars with Doug and Michelle, and how to recreate that office with predictable results, a pre-trained staff. And if someone calls in sick, they handle that. They take care of it. And not only do they answer the phones, but they have the ability to do outbound phone calls, scheduling, billing, and the whole like. So as we're on this entrepreneurial journey, we're not alone. And a lot of times when we go to scale that business, we're out there defining our estimating systems and training the folks in the field. So a service like Pink Collars can go out and basically create a veteran office staff at day one without you having to reinvent the wheel. So want to thank them, especially Michelle and Doug and their team over at Pink Collars, because they've been absolutely instrumental for a lot of our customers at Simple Growth. And they are pretty much trained to the way our automations go, and they're able to go in and from day one pick up and give you an instant return on investment. So go out there. Advice of the weekend. Got to bring some dinner into the house here, but go out, outlearn your competition, invest in education in yourself and your team, and be that disruptor in your market. I know Michelle and Doug Myers there are just disrupting the virtual assistant, virtual office market right now, and I know they're doing a lot of these things as well, just like Debbie Sardone and Jonathan Potoshnik of the Lawn Care Millionaire. So we'll see you next week. Hope everybody has a great weekend.